Day 1. At first, I thought it was a dream. But as the hours pass, I'm not so sure anymore. This place is strange. The locals are unlike anything I've encountered, and the other humans seem almost robotic. I've been given a small house and a warm bed. I will attempt to sleep, and hopefully, when I wake up, I will find this has all just been a very strange dream. Day 2. If this is a dream, it's the longest dream ever. I was jarred awake at sunrise by an unseen force and immediately felt compelled to acquire a tool. I made some questionable trades with one of the local farmers and went looking for a fisherman who would sell me a fishing rod. I wanted to try some fishing and hopefully have a dinner that was more than raw carrots. Instead of a fisherman, I met a weaponsmith who told me I could get fish faster with an axe than with a fishing rod. Figuring anything is possible in a dream, I bought the axe and told myself that worst case I'd have a useful multi-purpose tool for as long as I was trapped here. Day 3. Once again, some unseen force was the cause of my sunrise awakening. I find it physically impossible to lie back down once awakened by this force. I suppose if it happens daily, I'll get used to it. I saw a skinny kitten by my doorstep yesterday morning as I was leaving, and when I awoke this morning, he was there again. I fed him a bit of the salmon I got at the river yesterday. He's sitting on my bed now. He's adorable, but I really just wish I could wake up from this bizarre dream. Day 4. Need I touch on my strange awakening? I think not. Today was as weird and unexpected as the previous 3 days. I almost feel as if I wouldn't know this was a dream if I hadn't found this empty diary in the drawer beside the bed. If I hadn't been writing in it for the past 3 days and reading it every morning, I feel as if I wouldn't know that this isn't where I belong. Is that what happened to all the other humans here? This place is getting unnerving. I'm ready to wake up. Day 5. I borrowed a boat from one of the locals and rowed across the bay to the southern end of the city. This place is enormous, and with nothing pressing to do, I decided a long hike back through the city would help me get my bearings. I found a couple of abandoned houses, and while most of what I found was seemingly useless, the fishing rod seemed like a good score. I knew the fisherman would always be up for buying some fresh-caught salmon. Night fell before I'd even begun my trek back across the city, so I bunked down in one of the abandoned houses on the hill and prayed I'd wake up in my own bed. Day 6. It took most of the day to get back to the house. I met tons of friendly locals and saw some questionable behavior in the seedier areas I encountered. This place is massive, but it needs a lot of maintenance. I wonder if they have someone who does that kind of thing. Perhaps tomorrow I'll try to find someone who knows something about what's going on. Assuming I don't wake up, of course. Please, please, please let me wake up. Day 14. I've been here for 2 weeks now. I met a local fellow who told me a strange story about the other humans. I need to find a way out of here, but it seems like no one ever has. I don't want to become a mindless drone like others who have gotten trapped here. I have to find a way out of this dream. Day 17. A librarian I've traded with gave me a book he kept hidden in a chest under his lectern. I've read it a dozen times. I'm not sure I understand everything it says, but there are clear instructions about building a portal to another dimension. Perhaps if I build it, I'll finally wake up. Day 21. It took a few days of hard labor, tricky trading, and some mining, but I finally have all the materials I need to build the portal. I still don't totally understand the book. I've never heard of a nether fortress. I don't understand the significance of a blaze rod, and I have no intention of finding out what a piglin brute is. Day 22. What literal hell is this? I completed the portal and managed to light it without incident. I truly believed that by stepping into it I would find myself waking up in my true home in the real world. But instead, I have entered what can only be described as a hell dimension. I have no idea if night has fallen. I am so tired, and yet all I want is to wake up. Day unknown. I have no idea how long I've been here in this hot, stinking place. I've encountered countless adversaries, but have discovered that the pig-snouted people are keen on gold. They seem to believe I am one of them so long as I am wearing golden armor. I made a note in the margins of the book. If anyone of the future ever gets this far, at least they'll know. Perhaps this isn't a dream after all. Perhaps it's been a nightmare all along. Entry number 27. It is impossible to keep track of the days here. I have no idea how much time has passed. There is no night, there is no morning, just the endless heat and incessant shrieking of the huge white ghost-like beings that stalk the open areas. I fear that I am not dreaming, but rather that I have died, and this is punishment for a wasted life. Entry number 28. I have encountered a structure made of some kind of brick I've never seen. I will explore it after I rest a bit. I didn't know it was a structure when I first began breaking it, but as I emerged into the space I could see that it had once been something formidable. Perhaps this is what remains of the nether fortress mentioned in the book. Entry number 29. I have explored the structure. Little remains intact. Whatever force responsible for its destruction was a powerful one. The fiery beings of unknown origin seemed to materialize out of thin air. Their only purpose seemed to be distraction until I killed one, and instead of vanishing as all the others had, it left behind a glowing rod of some kind of fire element. This must be the blaze rod. Entry number 30. I have begun my journey back to the portal. The book is no longer helpful. I have no choice but to hope that this time the portal will take me home. I'm tired of this dream. Entry number 31. I decided to have a little fun along the way. I'd noticed the pig-snouted people playing a game that looked rather fun, so brandishing the only logical thing in my inventory allowed myself to play an incredibly fun and equally dangerous game of strikeout with a ghost creature. Clearly it didn't kill me, which might be unfortunate, as I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps dying here would allow me to wake up at home. Day 57. I entered the portal and found myself back in the city of strange beings. I feel different, as if I know something perhaps I shouldn't. My neighbor tells me I was gone for 35 days. I've been trapped in this dream for nearly 2 months. I'm not sure I believe there's a way out anymore. Perhaps there is no out. Perhaps this is all there ever was. Day 63. I've been asking around about this place for a few days now. So far, no one can seem to tell me anything useful. I've mentioned the idea that I'm trapped in a dream, and all I got back was some rambling about being a typical human. I'm not the first to become trapped here, but maybe I can be the first to escape. Day 67. I've heard a rumor that there's a hermit living in the wild somewhere east of here. A human hermit. Someone who might know something about being trapped in dreams. It's a long shot. I don't even know where to begin looking, but I have to try. I've been here for far too long. I need to wake up. Day 71. I've been traveling for days. Cat has become an adventure cat and has proven a valuable companion along the way. Little of note has occurred on this trek. The world is mostly peaceful if we find a safe place to sleep at night. Hopefully we can locate the hermit. I need to know how to get back home. Day 75. We came upon another house today. We've seen so many of them. Each time I hope that it's where the hermit lives, but each time it's just another empty shell. There is no hermit here. The only humans I can spot are the same oddly robotic ones I've been seeing all along. However, I found a book that reminds me of the one the librarian gave me. I hope it will help me get out of here. Day 76. I've been reading the book all day. It doesn't have a title, but it's clearly a book of beasts. Evidently, the pig-snouted people in the portal are called piglets, and the ghost creatures are ghast. I'm moving on in the morning. This is not the hermit's house. Day 77. We traveled for most of the day, but stopped early because Adventure Cat was hungry. I was getting tired anyway, and I wanted to take a little time to look through the book some more. There were so many creatures I hadn't yet identified, and some of them had pages of information. Maybe one of them was the key to everything. Maybe one of them could wake me up. Day 80. We encountered a massive body of water, so I decided to row across. Perhaps there are answers on the other side. Right now, I am stranded. I ran into a structure in the sea, and a beast the book calls a guardian attacked me. I've been left with a residual effect, but the book says it will pass with time. For now, I will rest on this tiny island. Day 82. The effects of my encounter with the guardian did indeed wear off after about a day. I was greatly relieved to be able to set sail once more. That tiny island gave me the creeps. We landed on shore at a rather inopportune time, and I was forced to battle with a small horde of zombies before I was able to bunk down for the night. At least this wacky dream is entertaining. Day 85. We've encountered a village. It's not the first we've found on our travels, but it's the first we've needed. I always thought you couldn't feel pain in dreams, but my shoulders are killing me. I'll be glad for a soft bed and some solid walls for a night or two. Day 90. The villagers in this village are friendlier than they were in the big village. I guess even in a dream there's something to be said for small town life. I've given up on finding the hermit. Perhaps if I'm lucky, he'll find me. Maybe he doesn't even exist. It's been 3 months since I found myself here. I have no idea how to get out. I want to give in. I'm so tired of fighting what feels like an endless battle. Every night I go to sleep praying to be free of this dream, and every morning I wake up still here. I'm tempted to just give up. I can't. I won't. I know that if I stop now, I will be lost forever. The moment I give in, I will become just like all the other humans. Day 91, morning. I just had the strangest dream. I was following myself through a cold, damp labyrinth that felt like it was miles underground. I don't know how I know that, but I can just feel it. My dream self led me to a room with an odd structure in the middle of it. Tiny creatures swarmed our feet, and when I realized they couldn't hurt us because it was a dream, I woke up. How can a person dream if they're already dreaming? Perhaps there's some meaning in it. I will have to think about this. Day 91 evening. I've been racking my brain all day, and with the limited knowledge I have, I just don't know what, if anything, that dream could mean. I'll have to ask one of the clerics tomorrow. They seem to be well versed in the dream world. For now, I just want to get some rest. Day 92. I spoke with a cleric next door. He said the dream sounds like a message, and the labyrinth sounds like it might be the ruins of a stronghold from eons past. Buried miles below the surface of the world, digging one up wasn't even the hardest part. I would need something called an Eye of Ender just to locate where to dig. What's an Eye of Ender? How am I meant to find one? Not even he had the answer to that. Day 95. I've been working tirelessly. I was invited on a hunt today. It was far more eventful than I could have hoped. We stumbled upon a crumbling structure, and hidden under the stairs was one of those strange books. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I will start it tomorrow. Tonight, I just want to sleep. Day 96. This book, like the other, has no title, but it kind of reminds me of a cookbook. It's filled with recipes and instructions. I've been reading it all day. Some things are starting to make sense. The Eye of Ender is not something I can find, it's something I must forge. By combining a blaze powder, which is the dust from a ground up blaze rod, and an ender pearl at the right time in the right quantities, I can create an Eye of Ender which will somehow guide me to the location of one of those lost strongholds of the past. What I'm meant to do once I find it, I can't be sure, but something tells me I'm on the right track. Day 99. Acquiring an ender pearl was as easy as trading with one of the traveling merchants, and waiting for the full moon was as boring as it sounds. I filled the days with mostly labor and some socialization, but moments ago I successfully forged the Eye of Ender. Tomorrow I'll find out how to use it. Day 100. As I was heading into the wilds to see if I could figure out how to use the Eye of Ender, I stumbled, and when I fell, the eye flew out of my hand and floated away into the distance. I chased it and found it had fallen harmlessly to the ground. I wasn't sure how it could have fallen so far when I had barely fallen at all. Curious to see what would happen if I dropped it again, I let go of it and watched it fall at my feet. It's a strange feeling when the expected becomes the unexpected. Not really knowing what else to do, I tossed the Eye of Ender up, intending on catching it as it fell, only it didn't fall. It flew off like it had before. I think I just figured out how it works. Tomorrow, I'll begin my search. On day 101, I set out at sunrise. I left Cat with one of the villagers. So far, the trip has been uninteresting. I tossed the eye, it flew off. I chased it and retrieved it. Sleep, repeat. Day 109. 9 days traveling. Nothing interesting has happened. Day 115. What a day. A little of note has happened on this trip. I've been tracking days, but that's about it. Today, however, is special. I came upon a massive hill, and as I reached the top, I gave the eye a toss as I had a dozen times before. But this time, it exploded in the air. At first, I was devastated, thinking it would be impossible to find the materials to craft a new one. But when I crested the hill, there was a village just below me, and when I entered the village, I noticed a deep hole in the center of it. Out of curiosity, I took a peek down. I needed a spyglass to see all the way, but at the bottom I could see bricks like the ones from my dream. Could this be it? I spent a few minutes asking around before deciding I had to see for myself. Tomorrow, I'll descend the ladder. Day 117. It's another portal. The structure in the room in my dream was a portal. I located the room only moments ago, killed the small swarming insects, and climbed the stairs to find a structure nearly identical to the one in my dream. The only difference being this one had an Eye of Ender in one of the slots. As I turned to step away, unsure of my next moves, I noticed someone's remains lying on the ground beside the portal. I don't know how I knew, but I was sure I'd just found the hermit. It looked as if he'd fallen and broken his neck. In his hand were 11 Eyes of Ender. I took them and placed them in the remaining slots of the portal and gasped in awe as the blackest sky filled with innumerable stars showed itself on the other side. I'm riding now before I dare to step in. I don't know where it will take me, but I hope it takes me home. Day 117. Entry 2. I entered the portal and landed in a strange dimension. This must be the end, the Enderman's home dimension. There are hundreds of them here. They're the least of my concern. A massive dragon is circling overhead as I write. I read about her in the Book of Beasts. I never meant to encounter her. The only way out of the end is to defeat her or to die trying. More later. Later, I defeated the dragon and entered the portal. The dream was not a dream after all, but something like a tutorial to a new life. I'm braver now, stronger, more prepared than I've ever been. No, that wasn't a dream at all. That was a lesson about trusting myself, even when I'm feeling unsure.
Deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.